So, we have more things to go over. As I said in my past videos, we may have won a battle here and there, but we have not won the war. And things are definitely progressing downwards, especially with the whole UK situation, because this is kind of setting a precedent of what's to come for a lot of us. And this is something that I keep saying to Americans: just because you think you have the First Amendment doesn't mean that they won't find loopholes around these kinds of things. And that's the thing you've got to be very vigilant about, because there is a bunch of different laws that have been trying to be pushed in the US that are trying to push these kind of like aid verifications, which, to be honest, you're getting aid verification anyway because the corporations are doing it anyway. But there is also this whole like Kids Protecting Act and all these other types of bills that are trying to limit your ability to see things. And so that's why I always say, as for Americans, don't just assume you're immune. Because I've seen many comments that are like, oh yeah, well, I'm in America, I've got free speech, I'm protected. And it's like, arrogance is where it's going to lead you to losing it, and then you're going to sit there and be wondering what the hell you're meant to do. Now, of course, you might have other things that you can use to fight against your government. Good for you. But again, that's why I'm telling you is to be vigilant, because it is something that they're trying to push. And many, like, you got TikTok now pushing the ID verification. YouTube's will be coming in the coming days, less than a week. And Wikipedia tried to sue the UK government, and it failed. But there has been some discussion that they might be able to still do something later on. So the UK government could soon be asking its citizens to provide ID to access Wikipedia, which I think is ridiculously stupid. So to access information, public information that it's like imagine going to a library, walking up to the Wikipedia section and picking up the books, and then going, hey, you need to show ID to be able to access knowledge that everyone should be able to access. It is just, this is the UK government trying to suppress knowledge and accessibility to the internet so that the people stay stupid. That is just a reality. Like I've said before, and this is why it's so funny seeing people in the comment section defend all of this, going, oh, you're just a P word, you're just weird, it's all about protecting the kids, No, it's never been about protecting kids. It's always been about power. Power, 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 power. That's what it's always been about. Wikipedia has argued in the courts that Online Safety Act's Category 1 duties means that it would be forced to verify users' identities. The High Court has rejected this challenge. Duty means that it would be forced to verify users' identities. Thankfully, the court has suggested that the non-profit could pursue legal actions in the future. Created to protect children online, the OSA is increasing censorship for everyone. Proton VPN anti-censorship technology can help. Okay, you're literally just doing a sponsor right there. But still, the point is that, yeah, this is... Remember how this all started in the UK? Oh, we're just getting kids away from corn. Corn is the big issue. Then suddenly social media platforms can't show different types of content that is showing what's going on in their own country. So anything that goes against what their government wants suddenly has been suppressed. And now it's, hey, Wikipedia can't be accessed. Now, I definitely have my issues with Wikipedia, but again, this should be publicly accessible. You shouldn't have to... And you can say, oh, well, all you have to do is show your ID. Okay, so now you have to make an account with them, and now they have to verify it. The thing is what's going to happen is a lot of smaller websites are going to die out. Because if every small website has to now ID verify, they're not going to have the manpower or the resources to do it unless they offshore it to a third party. But it may not be profitable enough, or you may lose so much money in doing that it may no longer be profitable to run the website, and thus the website crashes or just goes down. And I think that's what these governments want. They want to consolidate power. They want certain tech industries to become the main monopoly, and then they control those tech industries through government regulation and laws and bully tactics, and then voila, you no longer have control, and they have the monopoly of all the information and power. This is just... It's just a slope going straight down. Now, of course, Italy, Greece, Denmark, France, and Spain begin developing ID age verification similar to the UK's Online Safety Act. So congratulations, EU. You're now starting to get the same crap. All coordinated. All coordinated. Yes, I can't wait for cops to rock at my door knocking at it telling me to be quiet because apparently me criticizing my government is a crime now. Yay! When are we getting our social credit points where I'm going to lose all of it because I dared say something negative? Again, as I've always stated in my other videos, there are far more effective ways of protecting children. This is not one of them. This is more of a breach of privacy, a breach of security, and it is just scummy in general. And to be honest, I thought Italy had some new leader chick that was like super based, that people say, and she seems to be doing the exact same thing that every other country is doing. So I feel like, congratulations, you voted for someone different, and they called her far right, and she's doing the exact same things. So I just, it's so frustrating just looking at all of this, because it'll be in the coming week before YouTube's, and I am curious to see how YouTube's turns out, because as I've stated in past videos, it feels like a lot of that's just going to end up either putting you into two options. Either A, you're going to be censored in what you can see on YouTube, or B, you have to give them your ID. And people say, well, I just won't use it anymore. And it's like, the thing is, you can go to other websites, but there aren't really any other things on those websites. People always keep saying, go to Rumble, go to Rumble, go to Rumble. At some point, they're going to set their eyes on Rumble as well. And this is why I said what I said. And people say, oh no, YouTube can fight back. They can just don't do the thing, and then they get blocked. The government will then go to the ISPs and say, hey, you have to now block YouTube, and YouTube gets blocked. That is what will happen to Rumble if Rumble doesn't play by the rules when these kinds of... And that's the thing, the governments will set their eyes on it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that's the thing I keep saying to people. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But people keep thinking that they're going to somehow be immune to it. This is why you have things like VPNs and stuff. But not every VPN is super effective, and now they're trying to ban VPNs, which is more ironic because the same very government in the UK apparently were using VPNs. So, yeah, rules for thee are not meant for me, but that's a common trait in the UK government apparently. And that is where I've stated in other videos, going back to other things that I've stated, is that a lot of people will start to equip themselves with the necessary knowledge to make more effective systems to protect themselves from the government, from being watched, etc., etc. It's going to turn into an arms war, and people will continuously develop better technology, better methods to fight against the government, and it will turn into a vicious war. You can try and remove people from the internet, but the internet has become an integral part of society. And that's why I find it really annoying when there are certain content creators saying, oh no, having internet is so bad and all the rest and blah, blah, blah. But these were the same people that were saying that we should be locked down when certain things happen in the country, where little viruses go around. But the only thing that you have access to when you're locked up in a house is the internet to be able to get things. And now you've been told that, hey, you can't have access to these websites, or you have to have IDs, and oh, your personal information is going to get leaked, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, again, these are the people that keep pushing that, oh, everything should be online, and now it's suddenly, oh, well, actually, maybe we shouldn't be always online. And they just kind of backflip without giving any reasoning on why suddenly they've gone from point A to point B. Do I think kids should be on the internet under the age of 12, especially on social media? No, I don't think it is healthy that kids under the age of 12 are on social media. But do I think it comes down to parental control? Yes. I think parental control is an important thing. But also, I find it ironic that a lot of websites like X, where Elon is also free speech, has all these censorship systems being implemented, and yet Grok is going around leaving comments under actual corn. Yeah. I wonder why I get a little bit irritated with Elon here, with his double hypocrisies, and also the fact that he's demonetized heaps of accounts and not remonetized them, including myself, but then claims, oh, my site's going to be a main town square. Yeah, main town square my ass. You can't even get the basic things right on your site. And Facebook is just riddled with bots. You know, the only one positive thing that will probably come out of the ID verification is probably bots will probably really struggle to survive. Because everyone will have to ID verify to some degree. And so if you don't ID verify, they're just going to shadow ban you, which means unless you're using fake IDs, which is what will probably end up happening, you will get a bunch of bots that are using fake IDs, but you'll probably get less bots, but more malicious bots. So the amount will go down of bots, but the quality of the bots will go up, where they will look more like people because they will have IDs and all the rest. So you're going to see some really weird, wonky changes. Like I said, you're going to see situations where people are going to have their personal information leaked or stolen and used in nefarious processes. Which is why I've stated, and I've said that like 600 times already in every video, this is not going to work the way they think it will. But maybe that's the whole point. Maybe it's got nothing to do with, well, it doesn't have anything to do with kids, but nothing to do with security and everything to do with silencing everyone off the internet. And that's the other thing, is that if people know that going on the internet is this dangerous now because they've made it dangerous, people are just not going to use the internet, and where are they going to get information from? There's a saying, before I end the video, there's a saying, you're either misinformed or ill-informed. It's a saying that I heard a while back. And I thought it was really interesting because it is a really good highlight of how society works. And I'll repeat it again for those that don't get it. You are either misinformed or ill-informed. A lot of people say that the internet is full of misinformation, but we're going from a point of claiming that we're full of misinformation to just being ill-informed, because if we don't have the internet, well then we only have the mainstream media outlets on TV, and that means we're ill-informed. I don't think the internet is full of misinformation. I think community notes, say for example on X, do have a positive impact, but I do think those are turned into more of a witch hunt. YouTube definitely has its issues when it comes to AI slop, but there are genuine good content creators out there. Facebook is just a cesspit, in my opinion. I think that site has gone completely downhill. TikTok, I don't use it for the same reason. Reddit is just, we won't talk about Reddit. So, yeah. Things aren't looking good for the EU, things aren't looking good for Australia, and Americans need to stay vigilant and continuously fight against these other laws that have been pushed through. So again, if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.